Hello and welcome to AUCTV. This is Mariam Gabr. With me in the studio today is a very special guest, a talented actress, quickly making a name for herself across Egyptian screens on TV shows such as Grand Hotel and the critically acclaimed film Tibet. And with all that, she's also currently studying at AUC. Ghity, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
So tell me, how did you first realize that you're into acting
Well, I kind of grew up into it because of my parents. My father is a scriptwriter and my sister is also an actress. So I just kind of grew up on sets and being around filmmakers. So I didn't really realize that I wanted to do it until I was actually in it. Up until the age of 8, I kind of decided that I'm not sure if this is what I want to do because I'm just a kid, and so my parents let me have like a time off. By 2012, I got cast in a leading role of a musical on the National Theatre of Cairo.
So you sing?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
And and the play itself, it was very entertaining as well. We got to tour, we went to Morocco and Kuwait, and we received awards there in national theater festivals. And it was my first leading role, and it was all very exciting to me. And I remember that the first time I got on stage, I just realized instantly this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And ever since then, I was very lucky because I started working on several projects after the play, and so my career has begun.
Okay, and do you have any favorite roles you like to play?
Like from the previous ones, well, I've got to say that right after the play, I got cast in a TV series called القاصرات, and it was very interesting to me because I had to speak in a Saidi accent, and
wow.
And it was something that I never expected I could do. And it was so funny because everyone on set was kind of making fun of me because we had a tutor with us who can like teach us how to pronounce Saidi in Saidi accent, and I had to write it in English so I can be able to like talk in the exact way that Saidi people do, and it was kind of very funny. But I think it's my favorite because it was it made me blossom so much. It opened my eyes to how filmmakers execute things and how things are professionally run on a set, and it was the first role that I've really studied hard for. Okay. So I think it's one of my favorites.
Okay. So we all have bad days, whether you're a doctor, an actress, whatever. So how do you get through your bad mood days and just go on camera and pretend that you are a different character?
Well, it can be very tricky because once you're in a workplace, you need to absolutely let go of whatever personal troubles you have. So it can be quite tricky, but you need to remember that you have responsibilities, and regardless of how you're feeling and all of that, you need to get through and do this. And I'm very thankful that I have a lot of supporting people around me that help me to get through those bad days. My mom is actually my manager, and she's constantly there for me whenever I'm having difficulty at work or whatever. So I just call her up and I'm like, Mom, I'm just having a very hard time, and she manages to comfort me, and she plays a very important role at my success, and I'm very thankful for her. Yeah.
That's really great.
Thank you.
Okay, do you ever get into a role so deeply involved that you kind of not be yourself in a way that you play the character in your real life, in your day-to-day life? Like you kind of forget the thin line between who you are
and the character.
Did it ever?
Well, I think so. I mean, there's always an imprint that's gonna be left when you're done with a character, and I think you always have those little habits that you don't get rid of after you're done with the show. Mm-hmm. And I know a fellow actor of mine who says you cannot start a role without having a part of it invested, like a part of yourself invested in it. So you need to search for that character inside of you, even though it could be a completely different person. So I had to find that Saidi character inside of me, although I do not have Saidi roles. And but yeah, of course, I do believe that I have little habits from every character that I've ever done. It kind of just sticks with you.
Yeah,
it's nice.
That's nice. Okay, and as a student, you face a lot of challenges. So how do you keep up with being a student and being an actress at the same time? What kind of challenges do you face?
I think that's always been a problem growing up, because I went to 6 different schools growing up, and through all those transitions I was also working at the same time. And I remember that I would have like an exam the next day, and I would be at work shooting or whatever, and I'd have to somehow just like gather the whole curriculum into one night and just study all of it, so I can just pour it into the exam tomorrow, and then I'd finish the exam and go to work again. So it was such a hazard, but I'm kind of thankful for it, because although I was so caught up and I had so many excuses not to study and not to be a good student, I still did that, because I believed that succeeding in my career has to meet the equal success of me as a student. And I've always aspired to be a hardworking student. I made sure that I study all the time. My friends kind of call me a nerd. I'm refusing to admit it though, but I do enjoy studying. Actually, that's why I didn't just want to go to any university so I can just finish my 4 years and do whatever after that. No, I knew what I wanted. I wanted to go to AUC. I wanted to major in psychology, and so I have a plan. I have like an educational plan.
And you forgot to tell me what you mentioned earlier, that you had a GPA 4.0.
Yeah.
And the highest SAT score.
Not the highest. It was the highest in my school.
So in your school. And so
in my school.
Yeah.
So that's why I got a scholarship to John Cabot University. But you know, you never know how life is gonna play out, and I knew that I was supposed to stay here so I can carry on with my acting career. And I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad that I'm in AUC.
Yeah. So what was one of the characters that was the hardest to change into or to get yourself into?
The hardest one, I must say, it's Aisha in Ishtabek, because it wasn't a normal character. It was very complex, and I had to be someone that is so far away from my own personal character, and I had to believe in beliefs that are not mine. I had to somehow be supportive of the Muslim Brotherhood, even if I have personal differences with it as a political party. And it took a lot of studying, and I'm so glad that Mohammed Diab, our director, made sure that all actors spend 6 months prior to shooting doing rehearsals and character studying. Yeah, it was very intense, and we had to be there, all the 22 actors together. We're doing rehearsals, we're creating character bonds. It took a lot of work. It wasn't just the shooting period where we actually started working. No, it was way before it.
And how did you get the role?
Well, I'd previously worked with Mohammed Diab as a writer, and Khalid Diab and Gizira, the second sequel. They were the script writers, and I actually remember that they told me, because they liked my audition for Gizira so much, they actually kind of expanded the role of Hidayah in the movie a bit, and that's why they wanted to get me for Ishtabek.
Okay, so we're gonna watch part of Ishtabek, May's role in Ishtabek. And how did it feel to see international actors like Tom Hanks and Daniel Craig praise film Ishtabek?
Well, it was quite intense. I mean, we were all very happy that it's getting all this worldwide recognition, and we were so proud because we'd worked so hard on it. And I just think that the movie received what it deserved. Like, everyone worked hard and everyone tried their best, and the movie was truly carrying a very important message. So to receive all this recognition is very exciting.
And did you feel that it was going to receive that recognition during working on the movie, or was it a surprise?
It was surprising. Like, you know, sometimes we think, oh, it might happen, but you're not certain, and so you're always kind of hoping secretly that it would. But the movie was completely different from anything on the platform, and we did expect that it would succeed here. So it came as a shock, actually, that it made it to Cannes, and it made it to several festivals around the world, and it was getting all this recognition. It was so overwhelming.
So I heard you're working on something new, لا تطفي الشمس. Can you tell me about your role in it, without spoiling, of course?
Of course. Well, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people have read the novel. Hassan Abdul-Qudus, of course, yes. And a lot of people have seen the movie. A lot of people do not know that there has been a series in, I think, late 80s, earlier 90s. So this is basically a remake. And well, I don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say that there are actually new characters. Tamer Habib, the writer, added new characters to the original adaptation. Okay. So some people who might have read the novel, they'd be watching the series and be like, oh wait, we didn't know this character was there, and it's not, because it's new, but somehow Tamer Habib makes it just all kind of like sink in together. So my character is one of those characters that were not mentioned in the novel or the movie, but Tamer Habib had added. And
so it's more challenging because like you don't have a reference to it.
Yes, but kind of at the same time, like, I remember I didn't want to read the novel because I was so worried that my character would be there and then I'd have to meet certain expectations.
Yeah.
Because now it's mine. This role hasn't been played before, so I can just start like a brand new thing. And like, I kind of feel sorry for my fellow actors that do have to like carry on the tracks of previous actors that have already done this in the previous series or the movie. So I'm kind of lucky, I have to say.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna watch a promo for لا تطفي الشمس.
رشا دي نظامها ايه يعني؟
كان بيتعامل على اساس ان احنا في علاقه وبتاع.
يعني هي تبعك؟
ملهمي.
عندها كام سنه طيب؟
حتى بعد ما يبقى جوزي ويبقى لازم نعمل حاجات المتجوزين دي.
انا كل يوم اعجابي بيكي بيزيد عن اليوم اللي قبله.
بلاقي معدتي قلبت.
كأن الزمن وقف. كأن عندي لسه 16 سنة.
ما هو مش كل واحد خرج واحدة مرتين ثلاثة هيعوز يتجوزها، يعني كده البلد كلها تبقى متجوزة بعض.
بس أنا مش عايز أتجوز البلد كلها.
ما تقدرش تقول لي بتحبيني ولا لأ؟
لا، محسسني إن هو ابني اللي ما يعرفش ياخد خطوة من غيري. أنت خايف مراتك تسيبك؟
أنا عمري ما قلت لك إني هقدر إنها تسيبني.
بس أنت عيلة صغيرة أوي يا نجيب.
أنا بحبك حبيبة.
وأنا وعدك إنك عمرك ما هتشوفني تاني.
Do you have any actors or actresses that you look up to, whether national or international?
Yeah, of course. I remember there was this interview once, and they asked me if you can be any actor or actress, who would you be? And I was like, Johnny Depp. That's like I want to be Johnny Depp.
Okay.
So yeah, I look up to him because he's a very capable actor, and he's an amazing artist. He can just be anything he wants, and he just kind of molds into whichever character there is, and he's fascinating. So if there's anyone I aspire to become like, it's him.
Yeah. And do you have a favorite director?
Directors. Quentin Tarantino films
of course
are amazing. It would be surprising because I kind of like my taste of films kind of go against each other. Like, I like Quentin Tarantino, which has like this violent action films, and at the same time I love Wes Anderson, who has like these perfectly symmetrical and organized OCD-ish films, like
Don't we all?
Yeah, like the Grand Budapest Hotel or Moonlight Kingdom. So they kind of go against each other, but they're my favorites.
And who was your favorite director working with, and why?
This has to be. Oof, this has to be a tie between Mohammed Shaker and Mohammed Diab, who are, by the way, close friends. And yeah, because Mohammed Diab is such a beautiful human being on the personal level, and he respects the artist so much, and he respects humans in general, and he's such an amazing person. So it's impossible for anyone to meet him and not instantly like him. And he has an amazing vision, and he's trying so hard to create art that people would appreciate. And at the same time, Shaker is an amazing director, because he presents the audience with an amazing visual that anyone can enjoy, as we've all seen in Grand Hotel and Tariqi. So yeah, they're both amazing people and amazing directors, and I love them.
And what roles will you seek in the future, or where do you see yourself as an actress within the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, I definitely hope that I would be able to do roles that carry out a message, that are not simply there to just. I never want to be a part of a film that's gonna be a hit and gather money in the box office. No, I actually want to be a part of something that's inspiring and would inspire other people. And I would like to challenge myself in difficult roles that are very challenging. So anything that's basically far away from my character, I want to do it all the way.
So we hear a lot of myths about how females are treated in the media, and how that it's not a very safe environment for a female. Do you ever face that kind of thing on set?
Well, I don't think it's about media. I believe that you can have this kind of a non-safe environment in any workplace, and I don't think it's about this field whatsoever. I think it's a matter of respect towards women in general in this society. I don't really want to get into it, but I don't think it's about. I hear a lot of misconceptions and about how the people that work there usually just are always called bad things, or do bad things, or they never, like, you always hear myths, and I just don't think that's true. So.
And do you have any dreams outside of acting?
Yes, definitely. I do wish that in the future I would be able to do more humanitarian work. I want to be a part of an important humanitarian organization, and be perhaps maybe after I graduate, I will be able to be a part of the UN's mental health program, and I do aspire to that. I do wish I can make a difference in people's lives in any way possible.
Thank you very much, Mai.
Thank you.
So not only an actress, a singer, a writer, and a future psychologist, and a humanitarian. Thank you very much for being here, and we hope you enjoyed it.